Hi everyone, thanks for watching today's video as part of our writing program for this week. So the program structure for this week is on Monday we'll have lesson 1 and we'll be doing weekend recount writing just like we did last week. Then for lesson 2 on Tuesday we'll be doing some more work on informative writing. For lesson 3 on Wednesday we'll be doing some more informative writing work. Then on Thursday, we'll have lesson 4, and that will be creating simple text, which is our sentence a day. And then on Friday for lesson 5, we will have our sentence a day again. Today's Monday, so we're going to be working on lesson 1, which is weekend recount writing. Let's go through our learning intention and our success criteria first. So our learning intention says, we are learning to write a recount. A recount tells the reader about a personal experience. Now remember last week we said that a personal experience is something that has happened to you in real life. Now let's look through our success criteria. I can write one or more ideas about my weekend. I can use some words like first, then, after, next, and finally. And I can write some details like when, who, where, and what. Now after this, you're going to watch a video, and the video is going to show you some ideas of things that people might do on the weekend.
On the weekend, what did you do? Did you go to a party? Were your friends there too? On the weekend, what did you do? Did you go to the shops, buy something new? On the weekend, what did you do? On the weekend, what did you do? Did you go to a friend's house and play with them too? On the weekend, what did you do? Did you go to the beach, swim in the ocean blue? On the weekend, what did you do? On the weekend, what did you do? Did you go to the movies, eat some popcorn too? On the weekend, what did you do? Did you play soccer, score a goal or two? On the weekend, what did you do? On the weekend, what did you do? Did you go to a restaurant, eat some nice food? On the weekend, what did you do? Did you go to the park, play on the slide too? On the weekend, what did you do? On the weekend, what did you do? Did you see some animals at the zoo? On the weekend, what did you do? Did you go to a museum, learn something new? On the weekend, what did you do? On the weekend, on the weekend, on the weekend.
I hope you enjoyed that little video and song about things to do on the weekend. Now, at the moment, we're all staying safe at home, so it is tricky to go out and do some of those things like go to the zoo or go to the beach or go to the movies. So we're going to look at this picture and think about some things that we have probably been doing at home. So I'll go through each picture now and talk about them, and I'll tick them off as I talk about them. So in the first picture, it says play with my pet. Maybe you've had a lot more time at home to play with your pets. Watch a film. Maybe you've been able to watch a movie on TV with your family. Read a book. Maybe you've been spending some time reading some books you've got at home or watching some stories online. Play board games. Maybe you've had time to play some fun games with your family. Write a story. Wow, maybe some of you have had time to write your own stories. Sing a song. Play video games. Make your own drawing. Do exercise, because we all know that it's very important to still stay fit and healthy even when we're at home. Make a video call. Maybe you've been calling some friends or making a video call to a family member that lives far away, like grandma, grandpa, or cousins, or aunties, or uncles. Tidy your room. Yes, being at home gives you a chance to tidy the house a little bit more. And the last one, do homework. Maybe you've had some extra time and you'd like to do some more of your home learning in your spare time. Maybe you read some Wooshka books in your spare time. So hopefully those ideas got you thinking about some fun things you've been doing at home on the weekend. Now, what I'm about to do is show you a recount that I'm going to write about what I did on my weekend at home. So now you can see what I was up to on my weekend. Here is my recount. So over the weekends, I've been enjoying doing some more cooking and baking. Baking is something that I really love doing in my spare time. And I've had a little bit more time to do that now that I've been home a lot more. So let's take a look at my first picture. There's a bowl with some ingredients in the bowl and a mixing spoon. And let's read what the sentence says. And as I read, I'm going to just highlight with a yellow pen the words as I read them. First, I mix the ingredients in a bowl. That is my first sentence. And just like last week's recount, you can see that I have used a good first word for the beginning of that sentence because this was the first activity I did. So I wrote the word first. Let's have a look at what I did next. So you can see there's a picture of me popping a cake into the oven. So I am baking a cake. All right, let's check what my sentence says. Then I put the mixture in a tin and baked it in the oven. All right. Now you can see to start this sentence, I have used a different word. I've used the word then. Now last week you might remember that I used the word next here for my second activity, and that's fine. But this week I'm just trying to use some different words to show you that you can use other words in your sentences too. So now you can see what I did at the end. After my cake was finished baking, I decided to share it with my family. And you can see a picture of me there sharing my cake with my family. Let's read what the sentence says. After that, I ate the cake with my family. Great. Now you can see that to start this sentence off, I've decided to use the words after that. Now last week I used the word finally, which is another great way to start off your finishing sentence. But today I've decided to go with the words after that to show you that you can use some different words. Now everyone, you get to have a turn. So this is our think, pair, share activity where normally at school you might turn to somebody else in the class, your partner, and talk to them about what you're going to write in your recount. But since you're at home, you can talk to a family member and then you get to write your own recount. Now let's go through the words that you can use. First, next, then, after that, and finally. So just like I did in my recount example before, please make sure you start your sentences off with these words. So that way your recount is in order. Just like last week, you're going to have a chance to draw 3 pictures and write 3 sentences about your weekend. So just like last week, I'm showing you an example of how you can do this at home. So remember, you don't need to print off any worksheets or anything like that to do this activity. You can just get a plain sheet of paper or you can work in a workbook or a scrapbook that you've got at home. You can write the heading at the top, My Wonderful Weekend, and then you can try and draw 3 boxes next to each other in a row. And then underneath the 3 boxes, you can try and draw some lines for your writing. But if you don't have a ruler at home or it's tricky for you to do the lines properly, that doesn't matter. Just try your best and you can just draw your pictures and write your words straight onto your piece of paper. Remember, it does not need to be perfect. The most important thing is that you've got your pictures and your sentences in order so we can see the order that the events happened in on your weekend. Now I'll give you some time to do that. You can pause or stop this video, and then once you've done your activity, make sure at the end of the day or after finishing your activity, you take a photo of it so that you can upload it onto your week 5 completed work document in Google Classroom. So that way Miss Coote and I can see your wonderful recounts. I'll give you some time now to do that and then come back and we'll finish off our lesson. Well done, everyone. Hopefully you've had enough time now to write your own recount and draw your own pictures. Miss Coote and I cannot wait to see what you've been up to at home. We can't wait to read your wonderful recounts about your weekends. Now, we're going to reflect on our lesson today to make sure that we did everything we needed to do. Let's look at our learning intention. We are learning to write a recount. A recount tells the reader about a personal experience. So our personal experience that we were writing our recount about today was what we did on the weekend. And most of you have probably written about something that you did at home. Let's look at our success criteria. I can write 1 or more ideas about my weekend. So in your recount, you should have drawn 3 pictures and written 3 sentences about your weekend. I can use some words like first, then, after, next, and finally. So hopefully today you were able to use some of those words to start your sentences. And maybe you were able to use some different words that you didn't use last week. I can write some details like when, who, where, and what. So like we learned about last week, a good recount needs to have 4 W's, when, who, where, and what. So hopefully in your recount, you were able to show when it happened, who you were with, where you were, and what you did. Great work, everybody. Good listening. Thank you for taking part in our writing lesson today, and we'll see you tomorrow.